All right, I am here with the snake and the snake handler, Anthony and Patty, to talk little brother, a wild week one, a messy week one. And I wanted to start, I guess, your guys' thoughts overall on the messiness. Whoever wants to go first. I'm sure
You go
Patty's
first,
chomping
Patty.
at the bit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna let Anthony go, man. You growing up,
Oh, you
you
too
seem,
kind. You
yeah,
too.
man. You bang it out, baby.
All right. Listen, let me first tell you something that this cast is probably the best cast ever. Okay, let me tell you something. You have just such a variety of different personalities in this cast, but overall, it's just this week is like, first of all, there's fighting already in week one. Okay. We got some past rivalries already coming to play. Like, and it's funny because in the beginning, everyone was like, we're all going to be nice to each other. We're going to all play different games and crap. And then you see that crap happen. Nah, it's been, and I'm telling you right now, it's only going to get crazier from here, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, every time somebody says we're coming in with a clean slate, it never.
That's a bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah. Let's be real. Let's be real. Nah, but yeah. So.
Patty, how about you?
Okay, it's not me like trying to like steal the show or anything, but since I become sober, most people like go to fairy tales like the Bible or the Torah, or whatever. Um, but anyways, I referred to Dr. Seuss because the motherfucker is brilliant, and he lifted me up in my time of need. So can I sum this season up how I see it going, Nick? And you correct me if
Sure.
I'm wrong. Okay,
Green eggs and
so
ham?
Yeah.
not a
I don't.
little bit more R-rated than that, maybe
Okay.
NC-17.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
All right. Anyway.
so as Anthony said, pretty diverse group. I wouldn't agree that it's probably the best cast of all the seasons, but we can agree to disagree. We're more mature now, right?
I mean,
Um,
the cast with us would be the best cast, but anyway, let's just yeah.
You both had your chance to play, so this is your
Yeah, that
opportunity.
is true. Yeah, that is true. Ah,
and to quote Q, there's a plenty of opportunities to shit the bed this season, and I love that, and I've been using that for a while now. So I agree with Q, and it's going to be hard to top her, Anthony. So we'll try our best today, okay?
try.
So I'm going to say, in the Dr. Seuss fashion, we have a combo of rainmakers, a hustler, a dazer. Really should keep a toothbrush in your office navigators, bellyachers, rattlesnakers, fucking fakers, movers and shakers, cheese dickery and tacky ass on camera vapors, Southern Belle cartel assassin, no hostage takers, flight attendant social fly, butterfly, tushy breakers, friends over the coal rakers, half bakers, compulsive lying PS5 playing safety net makers, earthquakers, and an OCS goat who happens to like the Lakers. Boom.
Yeah. He's like Eminem. He has like the hat and
Yeah,
everything. Like he's shoving
exactly. You should have
bars.
wrapped that, Patty.
No, I
Exactly.
ain't gonna rap that shit,
Drop
but that's
the
Dr.
mic.
Seuss. That's Dr.
Dang.
Seuss. No iambic pentameter, no anger here. Salt free patty this season.
Okay.
Sodium free. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me think I summed that up pretty well, don't you think, though?
You
I
did.
mean, yeah, I could kind of see it. You got to go a little in depth, but yeah,
Yeah,
nah.
who was who?
Yeah, that's
You
my.
know what?
We'll be here forever. Oh, geez.
Obviously, the hustler. Who's the hustler in the group?
Ooh, the
In my
hustler.
Come
opinion,
on,
Yeah, yeah.
come
Look, Nick,
on.
what's your opinion?
in
Who the
my
hustler?
opinion, the hustler in week one was Aspen.
No, I'm gonna say fan guy. I'm talking in real life.
Well, I thought you
And
were talking about the game.
no, and you know what? He's got a sleeve of cards on his arm. Come on, he's a hustler.
Well, you know.
I'm gonna be real with you. Like when I first saw Fan Guy, like I wasn't really a fan of him, but like I'm actually like liking him now. Like first of all, that intro, the little brother intro. First of all, it's the best thing that ever happened. Okay, you need to add just
Oh yeah,
intros to
oh
your
yeah.
games. That's fire. Nah, but no, I was actually impressed by Fan Guy. It's funny because like nah. He has not changed at all. He's still bullying little kids. Like you saw what he did with Nick. He bullied him information out of him. Like he did that shit with me too.
Well, it
But
wasn't
like
just Fat Guy though.
I know that, but like he's so intimidating, but also he's so funny, and he has not changed his ways, and I just love that about him. And he's savage. Let me tell you that. I thought Patty was savage. He also like when he called Dot on his shit. I was like, nah, I want to see that live. But yeah, nah, I'm impressed with him though. I am.
And I love that shit. After he threw the grenade in the room, he just went like this and laughed behind camera.
Yeah,
That
he
was
did.
that was awesome. That was
True that. I don't even know how to like counter that. Like if he calls me out on my crap, I don't know how to like argue back with him. Like I said, he's good at like fighting verbally, which is something I can't do. But like I'll snatch a bitch's weave if I have to. That's one thing I will do. Period. But yeah.
Well, you got some time to practice in case you ever play with Fan Guy again.
Oh hell no! I'm not playing this game again with these people.
That's what you say now. You'll give in one of these days.
Yeah,
I'll wear you down.
Yeah.
Anthony. I said the same thing. And I think a lot of people are not a lot of people. A few people have said I should have played this last season. I was like, it probably, but it would have been a race to the first eliminated with me and Dot, or one of
Both
those.
of you, if either of you would have played this season, I think you both would have been big targets at the beginning.
Because yeah. Here, talk.
You know what though? I'm not a liar like that, and people know that I can put the battle armor on and go berserk and pad them and do things
That's
that
true.
Alex and him can't do. I think if I would have played this last season, I would have did stuff strategically different because everybody knows what we're all capable of with the cast of returnees. I think they would have shielded me enough and voted me off or took me down rather than voted me off because they know I could be completely wrong. I've been wrong before, so I think it would have been a race to be first eliminated between me and him.
Well, let me ask you this. Like, speaking about liar, do you, like what Fan Guy said, do you honestly think that Alex and Dot are big liars in this game? Like, do you think that they will change their ways, or do you think that, they're still going to be the same people they were in these past games? Like, what do you think? Because that's what I'm genuinely curious about. Because when they were mentioning that, I was like, I don't know. I feel like Alex, he's going to stay the same. He's going to stay the exact same. I could tell he lied about because he did start that little all returnees team, and he did lie about it, saying he didn't do it, so he's sticking to his ways. But Dot, like, I feel so bad for Dot. First one out, that's messed up. That robbed the season.
We'll get to Dot here in a while.
Okay, yeah.
But do you want to answer that question, Patty?
No.
Do you think they'll always be liars?
Yes, and it was kind of funny. I watching the show and hearing Dot talk about integrity and stuff, it is literally in the fucking definition being truthful. You can't say you're a liar and have integrity. And Dot, the whole math thing with factorial versus exponential. I kind of know the English language a little bit better than you. Yeah, you can't say you have integrity because also integrity branches out to doing the right thing when nobody's watching. You know what I mean? And somebody with parasitic behavior is loyal to their host until they eventually fucking kill them. So parasites, integrity, goddamn.
Half
3
the
different
time,
languages
I don't know
here.
what the hell you're talking about, but I'm just going to nod and say, yeah. Anyway, I'm kidding.
Okay, Anthony, I'll start using some of your lingo. I was kind of researching some of that.
Yes. Exactly.
Well, I want to get to your guys' who had the best week in week one. Both of your opinions.
I think that, let me be real with you, I think that Meg had a pretty good week. Let me tell you something. Everyone wants to be her number one. Everyone wants to be in a team with her. And when you're in a position, that could be really good, but that could be really bad. But I haven't seen her name thrown out once, and I'm just so impressed by her because she is wanted by all different areas of the game, and that's my type of game, being wanted by everyone. Now, in the future, if you win HOH, you are screwed if you're aligned with everyone. But for now, you are in such a good position where whoever is HOH, you are not going to get put up because everyone likes you, and that's what little brother is, being liked. At a certain point, you got to turn on each other. But like for now, for this week, I'm really impressed by Meg. And I'm telling you, my winner pick right there. I'm telling you, I see it. But we'll see.
Patty, who was the best week for you?
Are we speaking strategical preference or
your preference?
Love or hate?
Well,
okay.
Strategical preference first, and then you could say love.
I think this is painful, but yes, I think it's between Mike and Meg. Mike is a beast when it comes to comps, just like everybody said. And, he gave that little nod to Fan Guy and gave it up. And, I think that was a gentlemanly thing to do because both those guys are so well versed in the history of the game. And I'm just like, when you're going through the quiz, and my wife's waking me up, she's like, Patty, when they referred to me.
I aced that quiz. I knew
Really?
all the questions. I
You
would
were
have
good
won that.
in the that competition in your first season, Anthony, about the people in the games.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. Well, we don't talk about that, but about that, the past. But now, I would have killed it. I'm gonna be a comp beast in the future. You'll see. We'll see. Actually, I don't know. Well, yeah, nah. But
I think they did well. Don't you think, Anthony? They sat in the middle, and even though they were throwing barbs and picking each other apart slowly with the slow burn, I think they did a pretty well job at staying in the middle. And there's a couple other people too as well, but I'll agree with you.
Yeah, stand in the middle and just let chaos surround you. Yep, that's exactly what you need to do.
But the highlight of the week, though. Can I kind of digress a little bit and go off a topic?
Sure.
Liana impressed the shit out of me this week. She's a beast. And when she snatched Dot out of his birthday party cartel style.
That's fucked up.
Him in front of his family. That was third world shit. People like me, small time people, wait until it gets dark. She did it in broad daylight, and that shit was fucking awesome.
It's awesome to see, but on a game perspective, though, is that really the smartest thing? Because I feel like she got really power hungry. When she was telling everyone, everyone is everyone has been mentioning you guys' names, but I'm not going to say anything. You're just I just feel like that just does not create a lot of trust within your fellow castmates. I don't know. I just feel like Liana, she's putting herself in a position where all eyes are on her now. Yes, it's important to win week 1, but I don't know. It's just you want to create these allies that you're going to go to the end with, but you also need to create sort of trust. So sharing information is important, but hiding it is also. But also share some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Which goes back to our discussion earlier about changing, and are these players capable of changing their strategies in a new and upcoming game and clearing the slate? There's a lot of reminiscent stuff that happened with our season, Anthony, as well. He said, she said, they talking about you, and won't tell you who it is. That was the shit that was irksome and had me going all crazy in my seat the past couple days.
I agree. That was Liana's weakness, is that she was great at getting info, but then she doesn't want to give any info up. It's holding her cards too close, which I kind of understand because how can you trust any of these people? But also, you're the HOH, you have to not have that messy of a week, which kind of ended up being.
Exactly.
I know it's still new in the game and stuff, and they don't want to make these super big power moves that are gonna maybe move down to the jury level or make them a target in the next week or whatever, but that was pretty baller to snatch somebody out of their birthday party and murder them in front of their family, and
It was
kudos to that.
And with really no explanation, it was out of thin air, and the reasoning was she if she wanted Alex out, but the thing is, and she wanted as least targets as possible. But what she doesn't realize is even the replacement nominee will probably go after you. That's when you're HOH, anyone you put up is going after you next week. Point blank, period. So I don't know. It's just that's why HOH. It's so you want to win it or you don't. That's why personally, me, I ain't winning jack shit. I am hiding. That's Patty. I'll let you win all the HOHs if we play again. Okay.
I'll tell you, if I don't get murked like Dot did in the first round on the next game, I will be that beast and go for the win.
We are so screwed if we play this again. Oh hell no. Yeah.
Well, who had the worst week other than Dot, in your guys' opinions?
Oh. Since I answered first, you go first, Patty.
I'm gonna say Galette 399, baby.
I was just gonna say that.
You're not going to defend your friend, Anthony?
Listen, okay, we've come to a point now. I'm not standing in a friend's perspective. I'm standing in an analytical, viewer perspective. And since I did win season 3 of Online Survival, but not to brag or anything, I kind of know what I'm doing, I think. But yeah, Nick, I don't know what are you doing, bro? Here's my thing, he's just so quiet, and I think that's just him as a person, but in a game sense, like, yes, it's good to keep in the shadows, but also you need people. Like, what are you doing? And also, when you have these big boys like asking you, like, I would crack under pressure. Like, I would do the same thing Nick did, but like, I don't know. Just I feel like Nick needs to do more, and so is these new players. Like, Nav is doing good. Don't get me wrong, Nav is doing good, but like, Nav needs to reach out to more players besides like Alex in that group, because then they're also going to get picked off. So these new players that don't know anyone, they got to get their shit together and start, being besties with people, even if they don't mean it. So I don't know.
Why is Nick down for you, Patty?
Well, Anthony, I know you two are friends, and I've watched your guys' 24-hour podcast. Sorry, I just blew my old ring again. So the light went out, but I think a lot of the cast from last season who are returnees this season are still a little butthurt that fucker won. And
True.
Believe it or not, Nick, homeboy, I still love you, but I had a lot to do with you winning, and you blowing me off and ghosting me, you punk ass. Anyway, no, I'm kidding. That's just me being a little bit salty, and I lied. But this is what's funny about Nick. I love the kid. I still do, and and he intrigues me because his voice doesn't fit his body. Every time he goes on a chat, it's like, "Hi," and I'm just like, I wait for him to still find his voice from last season. But what was hilarious was he was at work stocking fucking shelves at Target while Dot was eating his last meal. And I'm just like, I was like this.
But guess what? He's still in for another week, so he's doing something right. Okay,
well, he is. You defended him in saying that he was right in like throwing the target onto Alex. That wasn't the worst thing to do, and it wasn't.
Oh no, you needed to. But he was also telling the truth. I don't think he did it as like a strategy. He was just doing it what he saw. But I don't think people are believing him because Alex is very outspoken. He can get away with anything. He can get away with murder. So I don't know. Like that's my thing with Alex, and that's why I don't trust him and never will. But, yeah.
And I think Nick being a little wet behind the ears still, he's giving too much information out to the wrong people. And, like I've heard Days like 3 times say, we're going to take his lunch money. 3/4 of the cast can take his lunch money. Goddamn right they can. But, I think he's got a lot of things working against him. Him being quiet, his quirkiness, his inability to make up his mind. He'll be like, yeah, I made this move, but no, I didn't. He's all over the place. It's like throwing darts in the dark with him. And I think that's going to annoy a lot of people, and they're just going to pick his ass off quick. Now, because they're not going to let him win again.
Do we think he's going to be pre-jury, or do we think he's going to make it past jury? I don't know.
I say he's probably got like 3 or 4 episodes left, and it's going to be between him, Alex, and Leanna.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of players in danger coming up. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. It depends who wins HOH. We'll see.
That's true. Yeah. Well, speaking of this alliance, though, Anthony, I want to go to you with this because the winners alliance. Do you think they needed this alliance? Do you think it was the way to go because they're such big targets?
Yes. It's you do need it, but you need an alliance where people are all in it, like are committed to it, like just. Like when you're going into the game, people will pin anything on you to get you out for any reason. So if you're a winner, that is a perfect reason to put you up because like in week 1 HOH, any little excuse will put you up. So that's why the winners, yes, you need to stick together, but everyone's heads need to be into this alliance. If only certain people are in it, it's not going to work. That's why the cookout worked because they all, and this new women's alliance, I don't know, it was supposed to be called Daddy's, I don't know.
The matriarchy.
Yes. Right. They're all committed to it. At least that's what I think. There's still cracks in it, don't get me wrong, but they're all committed into it and winning. Like, but this winners one, like they all need to realize how important it is to stick together, at least until jury comes up. But yeah, I wish it would have worked out. But now I'm telling you, the winners it's going to be all winners before pre-jury at this point. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, too many alliances. Yeah.
Patty, do you think Days takes some credit for this, though? Because Days took that information from Nick and just let it go, and then it spread beautifully throughout the game.
Yeah, it caught like wildfire. That was ingenious by Days, and I like his technique this season. He's eating a lot, and which keeps his mouth shut. And
True.
He can
maybe that's was that a strategy to eat so much that he doesn't talk too much?
I think so. Either he's competing for a competitive eating contest that we don't know about, but that's a beautiful strategy. If you're eating all the time, you can't let your anger and rage go ahead. You're in a coma. But
Anthony, take
unlike-
note.
Listen, also
You might have to
looks
eat during your
sad.
future challenge.
Like in the
That's what I'm doing next time. I'm eating the whole fucking season.
Listen, in terms of future, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I can't pre-plan because when I come into it, I'm panicking, I'm shitting myself. You don't
That's
know.
why you need to eat so you're not talking too much.
Listen. We don't know. Look. Somehow I'll make it work. But it's not about us. No, but like dead ass though, like Days, like he always looks so mad and sad and like I don't know, like the first 2 episodes, he looked just so like depressed. Like someone give this man a hug. Doesn't he have a crush on like Meg or something? Like get them together. Like what are we doing? Or I could be thinking about someone else, but yeah, nah. That's I don't know.
I think you're
Days-
talking about Miguel, but anyway.
Oh, Miguel is hot though. Anyway, we're not. It's not about that. Not about that. All right,
Okay.
little brother.
I don't think Days looks pissed off or angry. I think he's stoic. He's older. He's part of the older crowd. He's being observant. He's being poker faced. You guys, you young fuckers, thinking he's pissed off and looking angry and shit. No, he's not. He's keeping his poker face. Josh is a little bit. Even though he does a professional gambling thing, he has a hard time keeping his poker face in this situation. But I don't think Days was upset or pissed or looked angry. I just think he was uncomfortable because he was bucking his character, and everybody's saying he's paranoid, and that kind of bothered me because paranoia is thrown
Well, that's because
around
in
like
past games he was paranoid.
I understand that, but paranoia to me in a game setting like this is being aware of who your competitors are and being aware of what they're capable of, keeping healthy distance so you don't get bit, and just keeping your mouth shut. And I noticed a lot of the castmates, the returnees, obviously, were throwing that on a couple of different characters, saying they were paranoid. But you heard other characters saying, "I don't trust him." You heard other characters saying, "Blah blah blah." They're confusing paranoia with a healthy respect for what these other competitors are capable of. So that's another mincing of words that kind of fucking pissed me off the past couple of days as well. Paranoia is not a bad thing. Stop painting it like it is. It's a fucking game. Paranoia is hiding on the roof and gonna jump off all on speed and acid and shit and thinking the cops are gonna
I'll
come.
say this. The reason people say Days is paranoid in the past game is because in the last game he would use the paranoia to try and like take control and try and be over controlling and be too out there, and it would always lead to his demise. So
But being a control freak versus paranoia, like people said, I was paranoid in our season. All I was doing was asking questions if Mag was talking shit about me, and that to me isn't paranoia. That is a honest, and that's a question that you need to know to develop your strategy moving forward.
Like you said, there's the healthy dose, but then there's sometimes you might spiral too much.
Yeah. Spiraling is when you're like, oh shoot, this person's voting for me. I got to do this and this and that. But you need paranoia. You need to be observant, or else you can't be too calm and collected, or else you won't go far. But yeah, no.
I love Chris, and I think what he did with planting the seed was ingenious, and I think if he can control that Northern European bloodlust that he has and carnage causing, I think with him being a strategist and a podcast member, he knows the fucking games inside and out. I think if he can control his demons, he's golden. As long as he doesn't have any access to Barry or somebody with a grudge from the previous seasons.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing with podcasts. Like, you got to watch what you say, because podcasts will come to haunt you in the future. So we talking all this shit, right? We can't, because they will take that. Like, I remember during the podcast, like, Days talk mad shit about me. And I still remember that. And that's why I'm still a little iffy about him. But, like, he's growing on me a little bit. But I still remember those podcast days. So we got to watch what we say, Patty. But, yeah.
Anthony, here's the difference between me and you, sir, is I own it. If somebody asks you something, you say, "No, I didn't say that." You say, "Fuck yeah, I said that." Since your nuts dropped and you got older, just say, "Fuck yeah, I said that." Just pull a fan guy and be like, "Yeah, I did it." Own it.
A fan guy, though.
You can't be mad at it. I know that's an extreme, but next time if somebody asks you something, don't lie about it. Just say, "Fuck yeah, I shot your ass."
Well, we got to move on. Let's move on to the Women's Alliance. Do you have any thoughts on the matriarchy?
I like it.
Patty doesn't seem to like it, but
Patty, why don't you like it? We got to stand with women. What's going on?
No, it's not that I don't like it, but I am very thankful and thank fucking baby Jesus on a cross that we don't have to hear Meg's Mafia this season. Fuck me. Uh, as long as that's dead or any kind of team cleaners jersey, I'm actually gonna retire this fucker now that the team cleaners are dead, according to Meg. But I don't have a problem with the Strong Women's Alliance. They're gonna need it because
True.
that's Shark Tank. They're not defenseless. They are not powerless. So trying to play that gender game, hell no. They're as equally as vicious as some of those guys down there. I've seen it.
yeah.
I've experienced. I've felt it in all holes. I know what it's like.
It's scary, but it's like I said, if they're all committed, it could work, and that's why I do have confidence in it. As long as they don't start, because I don't know, people are saying that maybe Aspen may jump ship because she may work with the guys and stuff. But I love Aspen, like she probably one of my favorite cast members. I have confidence that she'll stick it through. But like I said, you got to jump ship. If things are going south, you got to go. It's no sticking around. So yeah, no, I do hope that the women's alliance work and that whole pairing thing, that could get them to the end if they really stick it through. But I don't know. Like, you never know with these big ass alliances. The winners alliance at first, in the first episode, I'm like, this is going to work. But then by the second episode, that shit went down. So we don't know what's going to happen this next week or two. So I don't know. Yeah.
I just think once everybody starts nipping at each other's heels, the glue is going to kind of dissolve in that situation.
Every man for himself or woman.
And you're going to start having holes in their situation, and it's going to start leaking. And all it takes is one bad apple to spread a rumor. Correct.
Yep.
And like as things get tighter and the contestant pool kind of drops and it gets thinner and there's less water in that fish tank, they're going to start fighting for it. All alliances fall apart near the end. So just play smart.
One winner. So.
Exactly. So it depends what you want your longevity or your duration in the game to be. But eventually, like I said last season, they're eventually going to have to eat each other. It's just how quickly it's going to happen.
True that. No comment. Yep.
Well, with the Women's Alliance came Liana winning HOH. Do you have any thoughts on the scavenger hunt, her winning the scavenger hunt?
Damn. I mean, like, I did not expect it. I thought Monet was going to come in clutch. Monet had everything all ready to go, and that's how you win that scavenger hunt. But I think it just came the hanger. Like, who the frick has a hanger nearby? I mean, look, I'm glad she won but I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that if she lost, she would have been up on the block. I really don't think so. Like this Monet, I don't think Monet would have put up Liana. So I think because she was saying like, oh, if I didn't win, I would have went up. I don't think that's not true. I think Liana was in a good spot, but now that she won this power, I think she's in an even worse spot. But that's my opinion. I don't know what you think, Patty. But
I think Liana should have took one of her batteries and put it in that fucking smoke detector that beeped for the first 3 episodes.
Oh my God! Yes!
Jesus Christ!
Yes, I heard that too. Oh my God!
You know what else is funny about? Like, I'm in my media room right now, and I have a lot of that stuff, like aspirin and all that stuff, or name brand Advil. I have a spoon in here. I even have a toothbrush. So cleanliness is godliness, right? But no, good for her. And another thing, it showed how shitty and how soft ass all these contestants are. No cardio whatsoever, huffing and puffing, dying out. I thought one was going to at least call 911 for cardiac arrest.
I was like, cardiac arrest. Yeah.
And you know what? I think I would have won the ice cube thing. All I would have had to do is put it in a glass because I have an ice cube right here.
You would have had to put it in the glass though.
Yeah. They didn't put in. One person did not put it in the glass, and I didn't think it would count. Also, Hawaiian rolls counted, but not in the English muffin. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'll make the rules. I don't know. But yeah.
And another thing too, fucking their rotten choice and their processed bread. Oh my God, I was cringing at that as well. I'd like to eat healthy and well, and to see some of that cardboard thin bread, I just lost hope in all this season.
But yeah, Fan Guy did good considering he's in an RV. First of all, I don't know why he's in an RV, but he did pretty good, like considering, like, I don't know who the hell carries like all those things when in an RV. So yeah, I'm proud of him for that though.
Well, they had time. They knew it was a scavenger hunt, so they had a little while to prepare for it. So they all kind of grabbed items. Well, not all, but some of them grabbed items.
No, that was brilliant though. That was well executed, and kudos to her for winning.
Yeah, true.
Well, you guys talked about it a little bit already about Leanna's HOH, but what about the first part of her HOH? Getting all the info from people and then nominating Alex and Mike. Do you think that was the right choice?
I mean, it as HOHS, you want to find out information, but also you want to talk to them a little bit. Then you can get information. Don't be cutthroat, like interrogating them. Like, I know you want to get information, but also just, yes, getting all this is good, but what you do with it, I don't know. It's just Leanna needs to realize that everything you do in this game will come back to haunt you. And now everyone knows how strict you are. I don't know, just something about what Leanna did just doesn't sit right with me. Look, this may help her in the future, but everyone knows that she has information, and that's I don't know. What do you think, Patty? Because I don't know what to think about her HOH reign, to be honest.
You could bluff too and say you have all this information and not have it to kind of buy yourself a little time, which is a wonderful strategy as well. But I also, another thing that kind of intrigues me about her, she's like, I watched your season, I know what you do, and it's like, we watch your season and you're doing the same gameplay, so and speaking of Chalk or Mike, when all that shit happened with Fan Guy and everything, and he pulled her off with the HOH thing.
Yeah.
You know how she said she didn't trust Fan Guy and all this other stuff. He said he wasn't going to use it. And she knew he was going to do that. But the look of surprise on her face when Fan Guy came public with that, you can't act that. And that was a look of disgust and surprise. And she knew that whole Southern Belle mentality, where you respect your elders, it's not going to work this season. That shit wore thin last season, and a lot of people were exposed to it. And that's not going to work this season, especially with a lot of these returnees, man. They have no hearts.
Yeah, and the thing with with Leanna's reign, I think she did those questions because she needs a reason to put these people up. You need to find a reason. So I think doing this questionnaire and kind of making it so I didn't make these nominees. You guys chose the biggest targets, and I'm just putting it up. That was actually smart. But I think the way she was telling everyone, I have information, this and that, I think that was just a no-go. Once you put up the nominees, keep your mouth shut.
When she put up Dot, and she said it wasn't her fault, you can always buck the system. I'm known for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't say it's not your fault if you're making a conscious effort to nominate somebody. And it was brilliant. The only thing that would have made me shit the bed harder in that situation if she would have nominated her homegirl Meg. That would have been the icing on the fucking cake. I could have retired happy.
We'll see.
And been all good with that.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
Why do you think it was Dot in the end? Do you think she really thought that Dot was going to stay over Alex? I mean, maybe it was possible. We'll get to the fight here in a second, but what do you think about the Dot nomination?
I still don't know why, though. I think that because she watches a lot of these seasons, she sees that Dot and Alex may have a rivalry, so they're like, let's put them two against each other. But also, she put him up thinking that Alex would go home, but Dot is equally as a big of a threat as Alex. So I don't understand the reasoning. If you want a guaranteed big threat to go home, you put up someone small Nick, but I understand she's close with Nick, but even put up Nav, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just think her reasoning, she was put in the spot. Well, Patty, do you think that she knew Dot ahead of time, or she was just on the spot and just chose him? You think it was more pre-planned that she's making it think it is? I don't know. What do you think?
Do you want the tinfoil hat version, or
go all out?
I want your conspiracy.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the deal. Last season, Meg was an integral part in nominating Leanna in the final three. Remember?
Yes.
You take out Meg's number 2, that weakens the glue, because Meg and Dot are fucking tighter than most, right? And they play on the same team. So maybe she's doing that 3 to 4 steps ahead and learn from me with the chess playing Bobby Fischer. You make 7, 8 moves ahead. If it comes back, you ain't got that safety net that Dot thinks he had.
Yeah, I don't think Leanna's that evil though. Like, I don't think she's that like she thinks like 8 steps ahead. I think she lives very much in the moment. I don't think she's like, I need to do this the second her best friend let's put Dot up. Like, I don't think she's like that, but I don't know. We don't know. Leanna, you never know, and that's what's scary. And I think that's what scares a lot of these other characters. You don't know what Leanna is thinking, which could be good, but also you want to keep people that you can read them like an open book. So you could lie. Like, I know everyone wants to play a truthful ass game, but also you can lie a little bit. You know what I mean? But I know in the end, a resume saying I told the truth about everything helps. So you don't end up like Dot and being accused saying you lied to everyone. So I don't know.
But
yeah.
you know what I think too is Dot being a contender, him being a podcast weekly member, him being a strategist, him being well attuned with the game. I think that was a brilliant decision because eventually it's going to come to that. It's either get got or be the getter, man. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think a big move like that early in the game kind of shook it and threw a lot of distractions, a lot of smoke, a lot of sleight of hands here. I'm still fucking my tits were tickled pink on that one, man. God damn.
And honestly, it wasn't the worst decision. I know Leanna's getting some slack about this last minute putting up Dot thing, but it does get out a big target. You're right. I mean, I agree for the most part. I just think the way Leanna handled the HOH was just sloppy by not telling anyone what she was going to do if there was a renom was sloppy.
Because she
But you think about this,
fan guy. You know what I mean? Like,
Anthony, think about this though. Think about this. Just really think about this. What happened with our season and everything else? Her just doing that. I knew if I were to pick you off and not go after Miguel, because I knew you and Miguel were going to be up there.
Yeah.
By not picking, you were perfectly capable of hanging yourself in a later episode. So is Alex. So Alex is easy rotten fruit that's going to fall off the tree. Why make a big move on somebody who's already going to hang themselves and waste that power and not strike fear in the hearts of your fellow competitors?
True.
Let the snake hang himself, cut his own head off. It's going to happen.
Yeah, she just wanted to do as least damage as possible, but like honestly though, someone like that was a little bit you have blood on your hands now, and it's the first week, so
the sloppiest part of Leanna doing this to Dot is that she's mad at Fanguy, but like she helped get out Fanguy's biggest rival in Dot.
I know they got a kumbaya a little bit, It doesn't have to be all fighting, But we love the drama, so keep it up, I'm waiting for Deleon to kind of step it up because I know he's big with drama. So like, let's see some hands thrown.
Oh, he gave a little warning. I believe it was his conversation with Alex. He's like, "Did you see any of my last seasons? am I right?" Nick,
I remember that.
He gave that caveat, and he just I'm waiting for him to show his X-Men powers and just tear the motherfucker down.
And it will come. It will come.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for him.
I can't wait. I'm praying for that. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Deleon, show your X-Men powers.
Well, speaking of the drama, though, what are your guys' thoughts on the Fanguy Dot argument?
That was scary. Dang. Dot was cornered. Dot, how do you even respond to something like that? Like, because everything what Fanguy was saying was true. The thing is, what Dot did, I don't think Dot is a complete liar. I mean, I can't really talk because, me and him, we were tight in our season, so he didn't really betray me, so I can't really say much. But I do think, honestly, I don't think Fanguy should have gotten involved, though, because I think that's now all eyes are on you now. It was just them two, and they were doing fine. But now you have Fanguy in the mix. Now everyone's like, oh, now Fanguy's in here. So I think, look, Fanguy doesn't want to paint this big picture, but you're including yourself in arguments. You're going against the HOH. So if you want a clean slate, just go with the flow, relax. But also he promised Mike that he would take him off, and he also said he would keep noms the same if he won. So at this point, you're gonna do blood, so might as well do a whole bloodbath at this point. So yeah, I don't know.
Which I guess he did.
Yep.
Patty?
I think what Fan Guy did was brilliant, and this is not me being a fan guy, or disliking Dot, but I
Mhm.
think it kind of uncovered some of that beast that Dot has, sort of like what I did with Miguel. And, you know,
Yeah.
Dot bashed me in the podcast saying I could turn shit up from 0 to 100 just like that, right?
Yeah. Facts.
I didn't,
Facts.
I never, I could be a cunt, but
Mm.
I never called anybody's mama's a hoe or said fuck you on camera.
That's one way to go
Eh,
out, though. Not gonna lie.
yeah, he went out on top, and that was great. But I think him kind of feeding the fire there was brilliant, because who's gonna want to bring Dot back and think
True.
about that? Like he even said to Nick, I think I kind of fucked my chances. That's the gist of it. I didn't know there was going to be a competition to bring me back,
Hmm.
and yeah, he went out big and called everybody's
Well,
mama a hoe.
do you think that who was winning the argument before Fan Guy came in? Because Fan Guy kind of just knocked Dot out. Do you think Alex or Dot was winning just when it was between them? Who do you think was winning that argument? Because they were both bringing up good points about each other. So
I think it was a
what do
close
you?
call at that point.
It was a tie. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah, nah, Fan Guy just knocked out because they said they were tight now. We're good now. We're bros. There's still bad blood in that. There's no the past. People will always remember what you have done in the past. There's no clean slate. That's bullshit. That's why in these games, these returnee seasons, you get screwed over. Always gonna remember that. Same thing like Patty. If Miguel is in another season with you, are you gonna try to be cool or because I feel like you will try, but you in the back of your mind, you just want to go after him. I know you. Like that goes with all returnees. You know what I mean?
If I felt slighted in any way, and
Mhm.
like if me and Miguel made an alliance, or he's like, Patty, I know what happened. Let's work together. And if he did something to dick me down while I wasn't looking, absolutely, I'd do anything in my power to murk him if I could. But like, me, I kept my word. I didn't burn you when
Yeah. No.
when you thought when I was gonna do that to you. I promised you I was gonna do that to you. I just threw the cards in the air and let them land where they wanted to. I
Mhm.
keep my word. But to watch those two guys eat each other up, and everybody knows their shit and can sniff it from a mile away, just
Yeah.
watching those two shit on each other, it just become a fucking dick measuring contest with those two,
Mhm.
and
True.
and yeah, it was funny. It was ironic. It was humorous, and I think my neighbor thinks I have Tourette's now because the whole goddamn fight, I'm like, ha! I'd have these ticks, and I'd
Yeah,
be
but
laughing.
no one is gonna mess with Fan Guy anymore. Because if he's throwing all this and that, I'm not messing with Fan Guy if he's going after them like that. I'm staying quiet. You do your own battle. So yeah.
And especially if you got that gorilla muscle chalk behind him too, who's a competition beast, they're gonna play off each other. I'd be scared as fuck to cross those two.
True. Yikes.
Yeah, that tension, that hatred possibly between Dot and Fan Guy, I don't know if it's going away anytime soon. Dot's family is even in the comments on Instagram. I think they hate Fan Guy too. So, but I think they
Even
should.
more than me. Even more than me.
Oh, I think so. But I think
Oh yes.
shouldn't it be turned towards Liana though? I mean, Liana's the one
But
that
that's
screwed
good.
Dot.
Let Leanna stay in the back. Let them fight. You know what I mean? Let them do their thing. And let Leanna just chillax.
I guess my question is though, like, what could Dot have really done with after this random nomination by Liana as a renom, backdoored?
That's why I'm saying he got robbed. Like, what do you do at that point? You have all these sides coming after you, and you thought I was sitting pretty. You know what I mean? I just don't know. That was he came into a point where he was literally fine, and he didn't do anything wrong. He was literally, and he actually was trying to be more independent, but I don't know. It just I guess the cards weren't in his favor, and I'm telling you, past seasons will bite you in the ass. And that's why if any returnees that play these games, just remember the past will come to haunt you. Just saying. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know. What was the question again? Anthony's like his performance just threw me off kilter, and I'll pull it back in. I promise.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
was
just
just asking
saying,
if what could Dot have really done in this situation? Could he have gotten out of this?
Other than maybe putting underwear on his head, or he was in. He was,
Okay.
he was in his fraternity jacket, ready to eat his last meal. I don't know what the fuck that was about. Maybe they could have made him eat a jizz pizza or a dozen of donuts, if you know what I mean. But I think
Mhm.
Dot's goose was cooked at that point, and they were just like, even Fan Guy said, Alex and Dot have this body count that stretches across seasons.
Mhm.
I think Dot ended up where he needed to be at that point, and hopefully we get him on the podcast and have some more playful banter between the both of us.
We'll see
Facts.
if he comes, but hopefully. But I was gonna say, I think Dot's big mistake is, and you guys know this. Nobody that's played this probably doesn't know this, but the nominees got to choose their chats, and they got to
Mhm.
choose either having one-on-ones or if they wanted to talk to everybody, they had to put two in the
Yeah,
same chat. So
yeah,
Dot had the option to just talk to Days by himself, and that's what he was going to do. But then he decided, I might as well talk to Fan Guy and try and mend that fence. And then he kind of didn't talk to Days in that
yeah.
chat, and that
And
kind of
I
led
was
to his
just good.
downfall.
Oh yeah, and I was just gonna
Because
mention
if
that.
Days would have voted to keep Dot, then it
It
was a
would have been a
tie, and then
tie.
Leanna would have voted out
Exactly.
Alex.
Because the thing is, you want to put as many people in a chat as possible. So that's why instead of a one-on-one, let's get 2 people, maybe 3 people in. And that's the thing, though. And that's the thing. What's so unique about these games, you need to prioritize your chats wisely. And if you're in a group, make sure you're not directing it. Because he was only trying to get, think, Fan Guy's vote and not
Yep.
Days. And Days felt like, is this just trying to
So yeah,
get
he
with
should
Fan
have
Guy?
followed. He should have followed his gut and just chose Days. 'Cause that's what he chose at first, and then he changed it at the last minute.
True. Yep. Go what you got.
What were we gonna say, Patty?
I just think he could have did it a little bit more wisely and addressed them both as a couple, knowing what they're capable of, and just said, "Hey guys, I realize I have this history in the game, and I'd appreciate your backing because I have integrity. Let it happen organically. I think if he would have did it a little bit wisely and not just apologize to Fan Guy, because I think that was an empty apology anyway. Because I think if you're going to put those 2 cats in a crate again, they'd fight it all over, especially if, you put another cat in there. So um,
Yeah.
I think that was an empty apology. I just think if he would have said, you know what, if you guys, and he was blindsided too because Days voted him off. He thought Days was in his corner, and holy shit, it is cold out there when you're lonely and alone. And I think if he would have just did it from a strategic standpoint, the results would have been a little bit different.
Yep.
And maybe Alex would be out this week.
What do you think Dot's chances are in a battle back? It will be a competition. I guess depends who he's up against. But do you think Dot is good enough in competitions? He won out a lot during your season, Anthony.
Dot will come in clutch if he needs to. The thing is, like I said, it all depends on who is facing him. You have Mike in, that's a wrap. That is a wrap. But honestly, a lot of these competitions are also, it's all about luck too. You know what I mean? But some of them. But it's in the end, it's going to be who really wants it the most and who will fight for that. And I know Dot has a lot of vengeance as well. But Dot, in my season, Dot won when he needed to, and he won a lot. So I think I have confidence in Dot, but Dot got to get his shit together and his head in the game, and he better hope that who's coming in the battle back is not anyone too crazy, because I think he could be like Nick and stuff like that. Like, no offense, Nick, but like who knows? We'll see who comes in the battle back. Who knows? But yeah.
I think if he gets back in the game, there's going to be some carnage as expected. I can't see him coming back in a civil manner and try to play it off. It depends who's left in his alliance too and who he's cool with, because eventually it's going to be who's going to have his back later on if he were to win the battle back. And I don't know. And like you said, Anthony, it's all about luck. I just don't think the luck's in Dot's corner this time around. Fucking first eliminated.
Yeah.
I would just sit back, and if he gets any ability to jam people up later in the game like I did,
Mm-hmm.
I think he should just take the opportunity and just ride it out and not get heartbroken again.
Yeah, because that hurt. It did. Just
on his birthday.
That was harsh.
Yikes.
To that.
Yikes. Yep.
Lastly, what do y'all think? Days and Aspen were kind of in the middle of this vote. I mean, Days has been doing very good at just not being in too many alliances, kind of like everybody else. Meanwhile, Aspen's in about 1 million alliances. But what are y'all thinking about those two kind of being in the middle of this vote?
I mean, that's you want to kind of be in the middle of the votes. I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages, but like you can now that you're in the middle, it's very two-sided. You choose your own path. Now, I personally think that keeping Dot in the game could have been a lot better than keeping Alex. I know Alex pitched like, "Oh, you can use me as just a permanent pawn," but I don't know. I just do not trust that guy, and I think that he will throw you under the bus. And I just don't see someone like Aspen and Alex working together. I don't know why I don't see it. But no, but look, if you're in the middle, I mean, but you can't reveal who your vote went to though, because if who you voted got out, you gotta say, "Oh, don't worry, I kept you safe. I voted the other guy." So it's very middle is really hard though. It's very
It is
very
hard.
hard.
I agree.
Yeah.
But really, is she in the middle? Because a couple of people were already saying stuff, chirping in the background, saying, she's playing sides. I think it wasn't even insinuated that, she may be doubling up with Fan Guy later on. So, Days, I think, is more out of the radar right now than Aspen is, because
Yeah.
there was some backroom talk about how Aspen is playing the field. And, that kind of talk about somebody who is supposedly in the middle can be potentially dangerous, especially when feelings start getting hurt and their alliances to whomever is starting to get questioned. They'll be like, "Who the fuck are you for? Are you for this person or me?" And you get that unholy alliance that's gonna put you down. You're done.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's 100% safe. Am I wrong, Nick, with that observation?
Oh no, I don't think you're wrong. I think Days is definitely way more under the radar with it. I think Aspen, like Anthony said, needs to play this. It's going to be difficult for Aspen to play this because she has a lot of alliances already. Whereas Days doesn't really have that many connections in comparison.
I think Days has his muzzle on too, and he has his leash. I just think they're waiting for him to escape and get that muzzle off. Then he hangs himself. But I agree with both of you that I think he's a little bit more under the radar and a little bit more clean this time around. It was smart of him to say he didn't want the HOH and volunteer himself out, but he also got the power. So see what happens. And yeah.
What do you guys think about Days and Monet having powers? Monet's about to get a second one.
Yeah. Oh, really? Okay, so it's whoever doesn't volunteer gets a power then. Yeah. I mean, look, I think first of all that the power that Days had is a lot better than the one that Monet had. I think being safer, you guaranteed a veto safety for 4 weeks is definitely better than only one vote. But I don't know. I would be a little bit suspicious if like no one's really questioning like if they got any powers and stuff. But I mean, look, powers, you need that. But I feel like whoever gets that, I don't know. Like, do you tell your closest allies, or you got? I mean, you have to keep it to yourself. And also with your powers, you need to make sure you use it wisely. Because I don't know. And going back to paranoia, you get paranoid, you're going to use it at the wrong time. So your alliances need to reassure you that you're Gucci to go. But like I said, they reassured Dot that he was okay, and look where he is now. So we don't know what the freak is going on. Yeah.
Are those Monet's real eyes? Because me and my wife have a bet. Are those her real eyes? Because those are phenomenal, and that's a power in itself. But anyway, it's too early to tell with both their powers. I don't know how they're going to use it. I'm not as well versed with Monet's game strategies. I will definitely research some of that before the next podcast. But I know how Dazed is, and I know how smart he is, and I'm not going to discount Monet's intelligence either. But man, I don't know. My first hang up with her when she said her pronoun was daddy. That was gross.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And Monet, I do have pronouns as well. It's him, it, he is a national treasure. Nick's words, not mine. And a Olympic class cunt. Right? Those are my pronouns.
Perhaps some would say that.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what Monet's going to pull out of her hat later on. I hope she doesn't throw it out in the open too early or trust somebody who's going to burn her eventually. I just want to see this kind of unravel organically and see how it happens,
Yep.
We didn't really touch upon Nav or DD. Do you have any thoughts on their games? They're the more under the radar players.
Yep. Didi's in a really good spot. I think, I don't know too much about Didi, and I think we're gonna see her a lot in the later episodes. But with Nav though, first of all, I don't know why Nav has so much beef with Nick. I feel like Nick did not do really anything to him. I think they didn't bond that first chat, but like, why you're so obsessed
I
with just
know.
getting Nick out?
Since night one of the first game.
Exactly. Like Nick didn't do anything wrong to you. I don't know. It's just their personalities maybe just didn't align. But I think just Nav, like I said earlier, I think Nav needs just a tad bit more alliances, not as much as some of the other players, and then he will be in a really, really good spot. Because coming from a new player, like a newer player compared to everyone else, he's doing pretty decent. But with Didi though, like everyone likes her. I mean, keep doing that, and everyone praises her. Mike was praising her like the favorite, like the goat of all these game shows. So I don't know if you're liked, that's good. So just keep on that bad bandwagon. Hopefully, take it far. Yeah.
I think Nav's beef with Nick is Nav seems like an organized guy. Daisy himself even said he's into analytics, right? To have Nick's disarray and his spotty, like very quirky behavior, that annoys the fuck out of me. And I'm nowhere nearly as analytical or, as clean as Nav is, right? And I know this is kind of off topic, Nick, but do Nav and Jed have like the same interior decorating firm decorating their personal spaces? Because it's like devoid of all her human personality. Although Nav does have some color in his room, some contrast and some border walls and all that other stuff. But I just think it may be a personality thing. And I have no issues with Nav. I like him, and he seems probably one of the most even-keeled players. Most just, I don't want to say genuine. I haven't seen that part of him, but he seems like he's the most like just even-keeled, most zen-like person out of the group. And either way to him, it's going to happen, and he's at peace with it.
True.
That's what I think. And Nick, I still love the kid. I'd like to see him kind of go far, but I think the cards are stacked against him, especially with watching all those comments in the past seasons in the chats and stuff.
Yep. And how his comment got kind of spread throughout the game. That's it. That's a wrap.
Yeah. Right.
Took him out basically. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we got to start wrapping up. So any final thoughts on week one that you would like to get out now? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nah, this was a really good first week though. Like it was a lot more entertaining than the real Big Brother, like week one, especially. I'm really excited to see how these players grow. A lot of players want to change their game styles, but I'm starting to see a lot more of their past kind of be brought up towards them. And a lot of them want to be peaceful, but you saw that after that fight, there ain't no peace. Once you are on the block, shit, there's no more, oh, let's all be friends. Nah, you're fighting for your life on that block. So their shit is going to go down. So whoever is on that nominee is going to throw each other under the bus and shit. It doesn't matter alliances, these girl groups, whatever. If you are under the bus, you are dead to the person. So I don't know. I hope there's no big alliances because then the nominees and who gets out will be a little bit predictable. Like I want the votes to be kind of close. But like I said, I don't know. Hopefully Nick survives at least one more week because it's not looking good for him. But yeah, no. Also, I just love everyone there and respect to everyone. They're all doing great so far. So yeah.
At first, I was dreading it, and I was watching through it, and I was like, "Oh man, this is painful. This is going to be a slow burn." And all of a sudden, Liana didn't disappoint. It was a nice, harsh finish to the end of the week. I hope after this coitus explosion that it doesn't slow down for a while, and then we have kumbaya moments where everybody's loving each other and trying to repair the hurricane damage. I hope it picks up where it left off, and I hope the paranoia was fed, and all these people start to go at each other a little bit harder. Yeah, it didn't disappoint. I was actually pretty happy with it at the end of the week, and I have new respect. But there's one downside of the season. I like the seasons with newer players because there's still like some naivety, or they're naive. They aren't as well tuned to the game, so there's a little bit more forgiveness and a little bit more I want to say, heartwarming experiences, a little bit more trust. And now it's just like, it's like rubbing bone against bone right now, and you're full onset arthritis, and it's uncomfortable. It hurts, but it's fucking fun to watch. And I'm glad it's not me or you, Anthony, this season around.
Amen, brother. Amen. We would never fight in a game like that. Never. We would be.
And Anthony, now that you know, I wouldn't go at you like that again. You know, it's all good. And you know,
exactly.
I watched my seasons, and you know, I was a hot mess with a lot of it. But you know what? Is being sober equally as fun? Absolutely fucking not. And some of the shit I did was funny and ruthless, but I wouldn't change that for the world. But I think going into it with a different mindset, my head's right now. So I think I would play it differently, and just, you know, the beast is still there, but
the beast is with everyone in that game, and it's waiting to be unleashed, and we will see that soon, and I guarantee
and
that.
I want to see Delion's beast. Come on, Nick, bring it out.
Soon.
We'll see. He's trying to play it smart. He's trying not to be the drama queen that he can be, but he's trying not to be. We'll see if it comes out. No promises.
We'll see. Yep.
I hope so.
Yep.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for joining me. Hope you guys will join me again next week to discuss week 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a date. If Anthony, you're down.
I'm down. Let's do it.
No
Let's get
CSI, baby. You're safe.